Good morning, everyone. Today we are looking at some lessons from Isaiah chapter 45. And there are a number of things that we could talk about from this particular chapter, but allow me to point out three things that kind of jumped out or stood out to me from these 25 verses of this chapter. As you come into chapter 45, you have the same discussion that ends chapter 44, and that is a message to Cyrus, who is going to be the king that in the days of Judah 150 years later is going to allow the people of Israel to return from captivity to Jerusalem and to their homeland to begin to rebuild. And so he is going to be the one who God says is going to take care of those things. As you get into chapter 45, you basically have God giving an introduction of himself to Cyrus over the next few verses, or over the first few verses. He says, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have held, to subdue nations before him, and loose the armor of kings, to open before him the double doors, so that the gates will not be shut. I will go before you, and make you the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of bronze, and cut the bars of iron. And on he goes. And so he's telling Cyrus, prophetically, long before Cyrus is ever born, what it is that he's going to do for him and how he is going to help him and assist him so that Cyrus can be there for his people and so that Cyrus can help the people of Judah. It is a very interesting statement of prophecy in that he speaks of Cyrus as though Cyrus is right there in front of him, even though Cyrus is not going to be born for over a century. And so this is a very interesting prophetic statement that you have in chapter 45. The second thing that I want to notice from chapter 45 is there is a phrase that is used over and over. It is the theme of chapter 45. As a matter of fact, if you were to write headings for each chapter, this would be it. For 5 different times in chapter 45, God makes the statement, I am the Lord, or I am God, there is no other. And that is the point of his message in chapter 45. I am the God of all people. Not just the God of Israel, but he's going to talk about how that he is the Lord of Cyrus. Well, Cyrus is Persian, and that he is the Lord of all men. And so this is the message of Isaiah 45. As we've said, 5 different times, he makes this particular statement. And he says that he is the only one. There are no other gods with him. There are no other gods to stand beside him. There, the Baals, the Ashtaroths, the Molochs, and all of these others, not to mention the gods of the Babylonians and the Egyptians and the Persians and so on. There are no others to stand with him. The third thing that I want us to notice out of chapter 45 comes from verse number 18. And it says, For thus says the Lord, who created the heavens, who is God, who formed the earth and made it, who established it, who did not create it in vain, who formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, and there is no other. You have this statement, as we've just talked about, I am the Lord and there is no other. But I want you to notice the emphatic way that God claims creative power. You know, we have a lot of discussion and we have a lot of controversy today over how our universe and how our world came into existence. And yet, if we believe the Bible, if we truly believe what God's Word says, and we could get into all of the scientific evidences, we could get into all of the other things that are said about inside the Bible and out about its truth, its validity, its reliability in those areas. But one of the things I want us to notice is in chapter 45 and in verse 18, God says, I'm the one who created the heavens. I formed the earth and made it, and I did not create it in vain. Now, if I'm the God, if I'm the Lord, and there is no other, then how did everything come into existence? He says, I did it. Now, this isn't going to be the only place that the Lord, by inspiration, says he did it. There will be many, many others. As a matter of fact, he hangs everything else in Scripture upon the fact that he made it. And therefore he has the authority to speak to it by command. These are the things that I pulled out of chapter 45. I know that there's more that we could talk about, but these are some of the things that I found to be interesting and to be enlightening in this particular chapter. And so I hope that they are beneficial to you, and I hope that there are things that you have found there that maybe we haven't had time to discuss this morning. But that's where we've gone today. And so tomorrow we will come back and we will begin looking at Isaiah chapter 46. Until then, may God bless you and have a good day.